everyone, I welcome you to this video, and the topic that we will be seeing today is fill in the blanks. So fill in the blanks is one of the important topics under verbal ability section, right? So I keep telling you what are the important topics and how we prepare for it, yes, because this is a common video that you can use it for your competitive exams, your entrance exams, or be it your interviews, right? So the approach, the preparation process is going to be same, but depending upon whether it is a competitive exam or your entrance or your say entrance examinations, your pattern, the question pattern will differ, okay? So based on the question pattern and how the questions are being asked, you can make the changes here and there, right? But how the base of what would be asked is what we are seeing in these videos, all right? So I hope this video is quite useful to you all, and with that note, let's move on to our next slide. Okay, so what is the weightage of this topic in any verbal ability test, right? So if you see, the verbal ability section will consist of nearly 6 to 12% of questions from this topic, right? Because this topic on the whole, it takes a lot of grammar. It involves a lot of grammar and your logical thinking. So let's see step by step what is required. But this topic, at least you can expect around 4 to 5 questions in the verbal ability section from this particular topic, right? So that's why we say that this topic is very important. So next, what are the skills tested, right? So any question that is being posed to you, yes, it has something from behind. They are testing our skills from behind. It's just not a random test or something, yes. Your skills, at what level you are, how you can qualify to the role that you are being interviewed for or the exams that you are attending. So that is a background need, okay. So every question is posed to you with the need of identifying the skills that you possess, all right. So let us see what are the skills that are being tested from this particular topic. So first, your reading skills, okay. So only when you inculcate the habit of reading, yes, when you started reading, because verbal ability involves a lot of knowledge, okay. So only when you have a lot of knowledge in this particular language, English, we will definitely be able to crack this particular test. So how can you develop your knowledge? It definitely requires the reading habit, okay. So you have to at least read, say, 5 to 10 pages per day, something, an article, okay, or be it your books, right, or a digital platform. So whatever you are doing, it has to involve a lot of reading, yes, because when you read, you develop your language, the vocabulary, yes, not only that, your communication skills. So all that, definitely it is surrounded by this skill, reading, okay. So you have to inculcate the habit of reading, one. Next, like I already told you, vocabulary, the number of words, okay. So that is being tested, how well you are strong in a particular language, your foundation in that particular language is being tested, right. Next, your comprehension skills, your understanding, okay. So how well you are able to form sentences, how well you are able to understand passages. So all these are being tested in this particular topic, right. And finally, the logical thinking, because you want to fill in with the appropriate words. So how well you are able to choose the words and put it across and convey a complete meaning in the sentence. So logical approach is being tested here, all right. Yes. So with that note, let's move on to the question pattern. See, before we move into this topic, I would like to inform you that you need to stay updated with the question pattern, okay. So just few months like before the exams or the entrance, the patterns would be released, okay, or it would be from the previous year question papers itself. It would be the same pattern. So you need to practice a lot with the pattern, yes, and you should be thorough with how the questions are being asked and what formats the questions are being asked, all right. So the first type, if you see, it has a sentence, right, and there is a blank, okay. So this is your first type. So how do you approach this particular question? Shakespeare is dash than any other English poet. Okay, so this is one type of question that could be asked in your exams. So what do you do? So first you have to read the sentence. Yes, you have to understand the meaning, all right, of the sentence, the theme, what the sentence is trying to say. Then you have to look for words, okay, and then we have to look for the options and fill it in. Okay, so when we are going to the approach, let's see what are the tips, what are the tricks, the techniques, and how well you can approach this. But as of now, let us see the pattern, how questions are being asked. Okay, now in a very simple approach, I will tell you how we'll solve this, but later we will see in depth about how we will solve each and every question. All right, so now for the first one, okay, so Shakespeare is dash than any other English poet. Here your clue is than, okay, so which is nothing but it is a comparative tone. Okay, so something is being compared here. Yes, so for example, compare, let's see how words are being in compared degree. Okay, so good, better, best. Yes, so you see that the words are in a comparative and superlative degree, right? It's in a positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. Yes, three types of degrees of comparison is there. Yes, for example, let us take the word fast. Okay, so it is faster, fastest. So if, for example, you want to have a sentence, let's see how sentences change with respect to degrees of comparison. Okay, for example, with the word fast, I am taking the word fast. So when it is positive, he is a fast runner. Okay, so this is a positive degree. In degrees of comparison, it is positive degree of comparison. Next, he is faster than the competitor. So can you see this? This is comparison. So than, it's comparing with another person. So it becomes faster. Fast, faster. And now what is the superlative degree of comparison? He is fastest in the class. So this is your superlative. So what happens here? This person, the subject, is being compared by everything, okay, all the other, the rest, that becomes your superlative. Okay, so this is your positive, comparative degree and the superlative degree. Okay, so mostly in your comparative degree you will have than. Yes, that is a clue word, okay, like the one which we have in this particular sentence. Okay, so it is important for us to know the degrees of comparison. Okay, so for us to identify the clues and then proceed with it. Okay, now let me take for example this sentence, right? So Shakespeare is dash than any other English poet. Now we have than, which is a comparative degree, like I already told you. Okay, so if it's comparative, now let's move on for our options. So Shakespeare is famous than any other. Okay, it goes well, logically it is right. Okay, Shakespeare is well known than any other poet. Okay, it is logically right. Third, Shakespeare is greater than any other poet. Okay, it's logically right. Shakespeare is good than, so four are also logically right. Okay, now when you are put up in such a situation, what will we do? We have to look for the clue, like I already told you. So than means it has to be comparative. So when you look at the four options, which is in the comparative degree, your comparative degree is greater, because your positive is great, your comparative is greater, and this is greatest. So can you see? Yes. So hence your greater becomes your comparative. Hence your answer is option C. So this is one type of question pattern that you may come across in the verbal ability section, right? Now your next question. Some people have more dash than dash. Again you have a comparative degree form here, okay? So but what is the context here? You have two blanks, okay? Than. So some people have more dash than dash, which means when you're comparing, okay, so there are chances that one is positive and one is negative field, okay, because you're comparing one with the other. Yes, because in case if it has and, then both would be positive or both would be negative, okay. Yes, for example, let me show you. He is friendly and happy. He is friendly but annoying. So can you see how the feel, there's a contradiction, okay, when words come. So similarly, when you're comparing into, there should be a contradiction. So once you understand that, now let's move on to our options, okay. Some people have more good than bad, okay. But what is it? Does this make a complete sense, okay? What good, what bad? The sentence is incomplete. Logically, it is not right. Next. Some people have more money than wealth. Money and wealth, both are almost synonym to each other. Yes. So this also cannot be your option. Some people have more brains than knowledge. Again, brains and knowledge, they are almost the same meaning. Okay. So this is not possible. So some people have more wealth than health. Yes. So some people have more wealth than health. So this is logically and grammatically right. So hence your option is D for this particular sentence. Okay. So now the next. So like I told you, it is very important for us to prepare. The process and the time you invest in preparation is going to be your sole foundation towards cracking your verbal test, right? So what are the process, or what are the steps that you need to follow when it comes to the preparation? First thing is extensive reading. So extensive reading means, I do not mean that you have to keep reading and reading. No, you need to invest some quality time in reading, and that reading should definitely increase your vocabulary, your communication skill, and you need to start, learning new words every day. So you have to have a very unique way of reading. It's just not spending some time reading and you're not even registering as to what you're reading over there. Okay, so that reading will improve your imaginative skills and it will improve your language skills also. Okay, next, vocabulary. So how will you increase your vocabulary? By speaking more and by reading more and by listening more. So even in case you're not able to invest a quality time reading, you can listen to very good conversations, some podcasts, okay, you can read blogs. Yes, so these are how you can improve your vocabulary skills. Yes, and next, time management. In verbal, more than your preparation that you invest, okay, like reading and writing and what all you want to prepare, you have to definitely work on time management. The seconds that you allot in solving one question, okay, because we have a lot of different passages. For example, if you see reading comprehension, that requires a lot of time. So you have to set a time, yes, and you have to fix. For example, for this question, I will take maximum 30 to 40 seconds, or for this question, I will take a max of 1 minute. So this is how you need to prepare yourself, so that the time that you invest in questions will have a very good flow. Okay, so that in the exams also, your time management will be good. All right. So with that, next, logical and sensible approach. Just because a word fits into a sentence, you cannot fit it in. When you fit that word, you need to see that the entire meaning of the sentence remains the same and there is no context or contradiction in the flow of the sentence, right? Next, your command over grammar. You need to pay attention to grammar. You cannot say, because when you want to orally communicate, yes, definitely you need not give so much of importance to grammar. As you keep talking, you keep listening, you automatically learn words and you start reciprocating. But when it comes to writing skills, right, and especially when it comes to verbal ability, you need to focus on grammar, okay, because English language has so many rules, okay. So we need to know rules. You cannot follow, like, there are 10 steps that would go in a same sequence, but there will be an exception for that 10, right? So we need to know what are those exceptions. So you need to concentrate on grammar, especially your parts of speech, yes? So that is very important when it comes to any verbal ability topic, yes? And finally, to stay updated, yes, I already told you, you need to stay updated with the exams, yes, the announcements, the question papers, the question pattern, yes, previous year papers, all these things we need to stay updated. So these are the most essential steps that you need to do when you are preparing for any topic, not just this topic, for any topic when your verbal ability is considered, yes? Okay, now what we are going to see is the question approach, okay? So first, what you need to do, you need to read the question thoroughly and try to understand the tone, attitude and style of the sentence. So what is the tone of the sentence, what is it telling, and what is the style of that sentence needs to be understood. Then you might follow the elimination method. Before going to the options, yes, just see which option is the most irrelevant one, okay. So the most irrelevant one should be eliminated so that you will have a fewer number of choices, okay. So from that choice, we can go for the right one. This makes your process very, very simple, alright. And next, try to fill in the blank with your choice of word and then look out to the options, okay. So before you could even move to the options, you can try filling the particular blank with your choice of word. Okay, what can the word be? So what will happen when you have a closer suggestion, when you look at the options, okay, you might find the synonym of the word which you thought, and easily you can relate it in that particular fill in the blanks, okay. So that is why we say before looking at the options, try coming up with your own choice of words, okay. Next, I've given you an example here, okay. So in this star sat the poet dash at the sea. I mean, what can the person do sitting in the tower? He can look at the sea, he can enjoy the sea, he can watch the sea, right? So these are the things that he can do. So that is the idea. So maybe he can watch, he can enjoy. So these are the words that comes to my mind. Now with that suggestion, right, I'm going to move on to the options. So my first option is surpassing, okay. Surpassing means to just move on. So he's sitting there. So this cannot be the right option. In this star said the poet, undertaking that sea. Undertaking, whenever you're taking a form, you know the rules, which means you are taking it, you're considering it. So this also cannot be the option. In this star said the poet, examining, okay. He's really far off from the sea. Then how can he examine? Yes. So this also cannot be a right option. So in this star sat the poet gazing at the sea. So gazing means watch or to watch, to see, yes, to admire. So these are the synonyms of gazing which could be or which is the right option for this particular sentence, okay. So if you see, we have used the different types already, like I discussed with you how to approach the question, yes. So we use the elimination process here, and we also used the process of suggesting optional words by reading the sentence, okay. So this gave you an idea of how we have to approach the question, yes. So I hope you are so far clear with how we need to prepare for this topic and how the questions are being posed under this topic, right. So with that, I'm going to end this video, and the next video will be in continuation to this video, and let's see in depth for the preparation process on fill in the blanks, alright. Thank you.